Blessings, everybody. Blessings, everybody. I just got a, quick prayer. First, I want to say, God, cover us. God, lead us. God, change what's going on in America. You say in Jeremiah 29:11 that you know these thoughts that you have for us. You said thoughts of peace. You said not evil, to give us what we expect. Well, God, it's America. 500 years after all this was supposed to be over in America, they still killing, lying, justifying, excusing. You see, it's time for us, the people, right, to really take a look. You go on a boat with your friends. There's a police report out there that they called the cops due to a disturbance. The boat disappears with another boat. The kid ends up dead. In all my years, the only reason why they have to identify you through teeth, right, is when your body is not recognizable. So the young man didn't have waterlogged in his lungs, meaning he didn't drown. So what happened to his face? If there was no fight and he just wanted to stay, how did he get in the water and get back on the land? And ultimately, who beat him? You see, but what happened is what always happens in America. The white people will judge him, ignore them, the criminals, the murderers. The white people will be angry and emotional, but eventually will forget. But this is to the faith-based believers, white and black. At what point does it stop? At what point does that verse, thoughts of peace, he has peace for all of us, not evil. So at what point does the evil die in America? At what point do the evil parents, the evil judges, the evil police, the evil system stop justifying evil? I see, that's what's really going on in this nation. You got the black people who are fed up and tired, but we won't do anything. Unfortunately, slavery has made us hate each other, willing to kill each other, but we actually don't fight for equality. We march in peace, we'll live in peace, but the reality is we do nothing. That's why, if you look at these two cases, it's very sad. So Carmelo defended himself by white kids and went to prison. Nolan probably didn't die. At what point in America, right, white or black, that could have been your child? At what point do Americans get fed up and say enough? The parents should be held responsible. Everybody knows there was drugs, there was underage drinking, and those kids didn't own those boats. So whoever owned those boats, charge them. I guarantee these people start talking. But for them to have to identify me, you ever hear me die and I kill myself? It's a lie. You ever hear me go to jail? It's a lie. Anything that you hear is a lie, because the playbook in America is murder, framing, lying. Think about it. Magma and the president ran a whole election, lock her up, only for us to realize, right? He pled the fifth 97 times. He's convicted for 34 felons, 26 of them sex crimes. So these conservative Christians who want everybody out this country is okay with that representing God. This ain't crazy. But see, God said in the last days, the first will be last and the last will be first. Why? Because America has to come down. Until America stop using God's name for evil and in vain, America has to come down. So to all my white conservative Christians, I pray for you. I don't only pray for your spirit and your soul, but I pray for your heart. That was your kid. Would you be okay with that? Clearly, they identify him by the teeth. I mean, they couldn't recognize his face. Then what happened to him? And I guarantee when they do this independent autopsy, it's going to show that he was abused, beaten, killed. Then what? The parent already came out. That lady's guilty. All those people that deleted them social media sites and then they come out doing a statement in advance, but they ain't talking to the cops. The kid went missing, but there's reports of him being on the boat at 4:01, 02, fighting. Police call, boats pull off. 2 days later, they find him dead. Come on, y'all. So the next day, they went to go visit it to find him. They couldn't find him. But the second day, they found him just floated up on the beach with a body that's unrecognizable. America. You see, I think the black and the people of color, I think we would be okay if racists were not hiding behind jobs and masks and titles and religion. We would be okay if they identified so the world can see that they're evil, hateful, and bigots. But they don't. They wear these masks. They hide behind these screen names. They don't have profile pictures. They are fearful of their reflection. There's never been a time in America where black people said enough, rioted like January 6th. We've never did it. Why? Because we would die. The cops would go crazy on us. But these guys, all of them were pardoned. First day in office, they all got pardoned. They actually have a reparation funds that they were trying to push, but they got shut down. So they wouldn't pay the slaves for what they were doing, but they were going to pay the criminals for revolting against the government. I just want to say, God, I pray that you hold America and everybody that's making these decisions responsible. You said you're going to bring it down, so bring them down, because you said peace, and we don't have peace. So we're going to keep praying and expecting the better in the end.